Barbara Payton possessed the kind of beauty that could stop traffic and end careers. By the time she was 23, this stunning blonde had worked alongside James Cagney, Gary Cooper, and Gregory Peck, but her looks came with a price that Hollywood wasn't prepared to pay. Born Barbara Lee Redfield on November 16, 1927, in the small logging town of Cloquet, Minnesota, she entered a world already marked by chaos. Her Norwegian immigrant parents struggled with severe drinking problems that would cast a long shadow over her daughter's future. Her father worked construction when he could find work, while her mother managed the household and the family's mounting troubles. Even at 11 years old, Barbara's extraordinary beauty caught the attention of everyone in their small community, including grown men who should have known better. Her mother, rather than protecting her daughter, actually encouraged this inappropriate attention because she took such pride in Barbara's stunning appearance. When the family relocated to Odessa, Texas in 1938, Barbara's rebellious nature emerged full force. The oil-boom town provided the perfect backdrop for a beautiful teenager determined to escape her circumstances. At just 16, she shocked her family by eloping with her high school boyfriend, William Hodge. Her parents quickly had the marriage annulled, but Barbara's taste for defying authority had been established. Within 2 years, she married again, this time to Air Force Captain John Payton, a decorated pilot stationed nearby. The couple moved to California, where Barbara gave birth to her son John Lee in February 1947. Hollywood's golden lights proved irresistible to the restless young mother. Within a year of her son's birth, Barbara made a decision that would define the rest of her life. She left her husband and moved to Hollywood with their baby, determined to transform her beauty into stardom. Her exceptional looks quickly caught the attention of talent scouts at Universal International, who placed her under contract and enrolled her in their training program alongside future stars like Tony Curtis and Rock Hudson. Barbara threw herself into acting lessons, determined to prove she was more than just another pretty face. Her breakthrough came in 1950, when the Cagney brothers discovered her for their production Kiss Tomorrow, Goodbye. Barbara's screen test was so impressive that William Cagney structured her contract as a joint agreement between Warner Brothers and William Cagney Productions, paying her an astronomical $5,000 per week. The film paired her with James Cagney himself, and critics praised her ability to hold her own against the Hollywood veteran. Her portrayal of the hardened, seductive girlfriend showcased both her acting talent and undeniable screen charisma. The role launched her into Hollywood's A-list, with major studios competing for her services. But Barbara's personal life proved far more volatile than her professional success. She began dating every major male star she could find, viewing romance as a transaction that could boost her fame and career. Her affairs included legendary womanizer Bob Hope, who set her up in a Hollywood apartment, and aviation mogul Howard Hughes. When Universal discovered her relationship with the married Hope, they terminated her contract, but Warner Brothers quickly scooped her up. Barbara appeared to have everything under control until she met the man who would change her life forever. Tom Neal was everything Barbara thought she wanted in a partner. The handsome actor wasn't particularly famous, but he fulfilled her emotional needs in ways her previous relationships never had. There was just one problem that would prove catastrophic for everyone involved. Neal refused to marry Barbara because her expensive tastes made her an unaffordable wife. His rejection sent Barbara spiraling toward a decision that would destroy multiple lives. When she traveled to New York for a Broadway production, she met distinguished actor Franchot Tone, who fell completely under her spell. Tone proposed marriage despite knowing Barbara's heart belonged to Neal. She accepted his proposal with a heavy heart, hoping Neal might change his mind about marriage. Instead of backing down gracefully, Tone insisted all three of them meet to discuss the situation like civilized adults. The meeting was anything but civilized. On September 14, 1951, Neal's jealousy exploded into violence when he brutally attacked Tone at Barbara's apartment. The former college boxer's fists left Tone with a smashed cheekbone, broken nose, severe concussion, and an 18-hour coma that nearly ended his life. The incident generated massive publicity that destroyed all three careers involved. Barbara married the still recovering Tone out of guilt and sympathy, but the union was doomed from the start. Tone couldn't accept Barbara's past relationships and tortured himself with images of her with other men. After just 53 days of marriage, Barbara walked out and returned to Neil, leaving Tone to file for divorce. The scandal effectively ended Tone's leading man status, while Neil found himself blacklisted from major studio productions. Barbara and Neil tried to salvage their careers by touring together in stage productions like The Postman Always Rings Twice, capitalizing on their notoriety. When Hollywood opportunities dried up, they traveled to England hoping for a fresh start. British producers cast Barbara in low-budget films with titles like Bad Blonde, seemingly designed to exploit her scandalous reputation rather than showcase her talent. The change of scenery couldn't repair the damage to their relationship, and by 1953, Barbara and Neil had permanently separated. Returning to Hollywood alone, Barbara discovered that too many bridges had been burned. Studios that once competed for her services now viewed her as box office poison. Her drinking, which had been manageable during her successful years, began spiraling out of control as rejection followed rejection. By 1955, Barbara's financial reserves were completely exhausted, but she couldn't stop drinking despite having no money to support her habit. Desperation led her to write bad checks at a supermarket just to purchase liquor, resulting in arrest and a $100 fine that publicly humiliated the former star. The descent accelerated rapidly from there. When legitimate acting work became impossible to find, Barbara accepted increasingly degrading propositions from producers and industry figures. One particular meeting crystallized her fall when a producer she was dating made a disturbing proposal. Instead of offering her a film role, he suggested she sleep with him for direct payment. Needing money desperately, Barbara accepted what she told herself would be a temporary arrangement. The temporary arrangement became her new reality. Barbara's transformation from Hollywood starlet to street worker shocked even her harshest critics. By the early 1960s, her legendary beauty had completely disappeared. Her once perfect face became blotchy and swollen from constant drinking, while her figure ballooned from poor nutrition and self-neglect. She lost most of her teeth to violence from dangerous encounters and weighed over 200 pounds when police found her unconscious near a dumpster on Sunset Boulevard. The same street where she once arrived as a hopeful young actress had become the scene of her ultimate degradation. When authorities offered Barbara admission to a detoxification program in 1967, she refused with a statement that revealed her complete surrender to despair. She declared, "I'd rather drink and die," sealing her fate with those 5 words. A county social worker drove the broken woman to her parents' home in San Diego, hoping family support might provide the intervention that professional treatment couldn't. Instead of helping her daughter overcome her addiction, Barbara's parents enabled her drinking, engaging in extended binges that only accelerated her physical deterioration. On May 8, 1967, exactly 40 years after her birth, Barbara Payton's heart and liver finally surrendered to decades of abuse. Her parents found her collapsed on their bathroom floor, weighing barely 100 pounds despite her recent weight gain from alcohol. The woman who once commanded $5,000 per week died with virtually no money to her name. Her funeral attracted only a handful of mourners, a stark contrast to the crowds that once followed her every move. Barbara Payton's story reveals the devastating cost of beauty without boundaries in an industry that consumed its own. Her rise from small-town Minnesota to Hollywood stardom took less than 5 years, while her fall from grace consumed nearly twice as long. The violence she inadvertently triggered between 2 grown men destroyed 3 promising careers and exposed the dangerous obsession that her beauty could inspire. Perhaps most tragically, Barbara's natural acting talent, praised by critics who worked with James Cagney, was overshadowed by scandals that began as publicity stunts but evolved into genuine self-destruction. Her autobiography, published in 1963, was titled "I Am Not Ashamed," but the brutal honesty of her final years suggested otherwise. Today, Barbara Payton stands as a cautionary tale about the price of fame without foundation, beauty without protection, and talent without the support system needed to survive Hollywood's golden age of glamour and cruelty.